Welcome to Scrum Positive. This is Vinod Narayan. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to discuss the fourth Agile Principle. There are 12 Agile Principles totally, as you know. Let's go into the fourth one. I'll read that first. Business people and developers must work together daily throughout the project. Now we know that we all work on different projects, right? As developers or as project managers or business people. And sometimes time is a big issue. We are not getting enough opportunities to work together. With COVID and a lot of people working in different time zones and working from home, not being in the office on the same days, it becomes tougher and tougher for business people and developers to work together. Now, remember, this was something that was written 20 years back. But there's a fundamental reason why we tell that people should work together. Just from your experience, just imagine that the successes that you've had, what is the contribution that successes have towards the times that you've worked together? Have that added to that success in any way? And I think when I look back into my career and the projects that were successful, I think that a lot of issues that we had, we were able to resolve better because we were working together. And this might be issues of working within the developers or within the project managers or program managers or working with the business folks. We are all having different perspectives of how things could be done. When there is a problem that arises, we all have our own different ways of looking at that problem. Our understanding of the problem is quite different, which means that the solutions that we have for the problem is also different. If we are working together, we have an opportunity to discuss and be on the same page when it comes to addressing problems. Say a simple example. Say that there is a requirement that we have to develop. As Scrum, as you know, that it's a sprint that we work on. Something comes up, we are stuck. We need help from business. If we are working regularly with the business folks, it makes a lot of difference that we can clarify things faster. Now, there was a question recently about someone who asked, what should the product owner do? Should the developers directly communicate with the business folks, or should the product owner do that? And the question was asked by someone because the scenario that they mentioned was that the product owner might not have the technical acumen as much as the developers or the technical lead to explain the technical feasibility of something that the business has asked them to build. Now, sometimes we need developers and product owners to work together with the business, but majority of the cases, the product owner is the person who understands the requirements like the business folks or users and who can translate that for the developers. If you look at across the industry, people work in varied levels of maturity as a team. And you would have good product owners, you would have product owners who are learning the trade, you have developers who have skills in multiple technologies, but there are also developers who are very focused on one technology. So there's always a different mix of things. So even if we say that it is a responsibility of a role to do a certain thing, collectively, that's when we deliver something of value. And so when, I think 20 years back when they wrote this principle, they probably thought, business is one side, developers is another side. And when business and developers don't work together, there is a communication gap. The requirements that the business has given or what the developers are going to build is going to be used by the business. And when they do the business acceptance testing or user acceptance testing, there's a communication gap which could have been resolved earlier and they could have had a better experience. So if business people and developers work together, there's a better chance to avoid mishaps. I'm not saying that every problem will be resolved, but the best way to resolve a problem when it arises is when people work together. And that's my personal thought, and I think that's what I understand from the Agile principle. And as I mentioned, it's our responsibility, even if we have so many years of experience, to go back to the basics and kind of reevaluate our understanding about the core values and principles. Because otherwise, we never get back to basics, we forget the foundations, and we go in a different direction. I'm not saying that everything that is written should be exactly as it is, because it was written 20 years back, and as you know, there are things that have changed in this 20 years, and technologies have changed, the working models have changed, roles have changed. There have been a lot of changes into how Agile and Scrum is being implemented by in different organizations. We are talking about hybrid now, and a lot of things are there. So while those changes are happening, it's important for us to even look at what the foundations are and rethink the whole stuff. Now, I want to add one more small piece to these videos that I'm adding, especially during the principles videos. I want to probably, if there is anything that is relevant to life, not just in career and work, in life, I want to share that to you as well. Now, if you change the business people and developers into two individuals, two families, two groups that have difference of opinions, or a customer and in a shop you're going to buy something, or anything like that. If we collaborate, if we work together regularly on a daily basis, some of the relationships that we have, we could make them better. Parents and kids, with your partners, with friends, even with colleagues. Maybe not the people that you work regularly with, but if you have this constant contact and collaboration with people, that helps in building that relationship. I know there are misunderstandings that happen in relationships. And misunderstandings often happen because there is an expectation about things, and that communication is not there always. We are very quick to judge the other person instead of giving that person a benefit of doubt and taking it to the communication floor and discussing what the problem is. And I think, so working together, business and developers, I think in our life also, we should daily, at least for the people that really matter for us, we need to work on a daily basis. In a family relationship or spouse or partners, you cannot build a relationship if you don't work on it. It just doesn't happen automatically. Sometimes we have ups, sometimes we have downs, sometimes we fall out of that relationship, we get back into the relationship. There's a conscious effort to work daily on it. And that's what, at least from a personal level, when I read this principle, that's what it tells me. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed to. Every week I'll come up with a short video talking about Scrum, talking about work, talking about career, life, agility. Now we are in the stage of talking about the principles. We'll have more questions. If you have any question that you want addressed, please share that in the comments, and I'll try to address that in one of the videos. You guys take care. Thank you.